Welcome to our aging puzzle. I'm your host, Corlette Deveaux. Great to see you all today. This is our third show, and I am so thrilled to have my guest back today. Remember, our show, Our Aging Puzzle, is about aging and how it affects all of us. And I'm going to spend time with my guest every week from all walks of life, talking about how aging has impacted them, their life. And remember, it doesn't matter if you're young, if you're old, if you're middle-aged, we're all aging every day. So we want to bring insights and inspiration to you as we all go through this puzzle of aging. June is Men's Health Month. The first 2 weeks we had Scott Johnson talking about his journey with prostate cancer. We have Scott Johnson back again for the third week to share his treatment with prostate cancer and how he felt. We hope that his story inspires, motivates you, someone out there, to get tested, to go and get their annual. We want to save every life, and early detection is the key. Our guest for this week is none other than Scott Johnson. You heard his story last week and the week before, and he is sharing his journey with us. We have him in our studios again today to talk about the next step in his journey through prostate cancer. And as I mentioned before, Scott Johnson is an architect. He's a professional. He's a husband. He is a father of 4 children. Scott is here today, and talking to Scott the last show, I got emotional. Scott is going to share with you today the treatment that he went through and how he felt going through that treatment process. Scott, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me back.
You talked about how you felt when you found out about cancer. You also talked to us about what you went through, the process you went through to select your treatment. Tell us about your first day going for treatment and how you felt, and what was that like?
Well, there were numerous treatments that I took part in. The first was a medication called Proton. It's a derivative of a chemotherapy drug, and in the words of my urologist, it puts the cancer to sleep. Well, it doesn't cure you, but it keeps the cancer from growing while you're having your treatment. My other course of treatment was the Proton Therapy in Kendall, Florida, and that was a 40-dose treatment. That began with a lot of prep. They had to make a mold of my body. They had to do insertions in my body so they could line all the lasers and so forth. And at that point, when I finally went in the first day, it was just, all I could think about is I've got to do this 40 times, back and forth, 60 miles from my house, 5 days a week for that period of time. It was just monumental to even think about it at that point. And I did it, and I was like, all right. And I had the support of some friends. I had one friend in particular, he'd call me or text me every day. He's like, one down, and he's an actuary, and he would put in percentage points and so forth. Very supportive. And my spouse as well. Yeah, just got it rolling. The first day was rough.
The first day was rough. Wow. Elaborate on what rough is. So you said you had a mold that was created of your body. When they created that mold, what was the purpose of the mold, and what did they do, and what does that treatment look like? Please walk us through that, because I'm sure this is really good information that could help someone else out there.
Okay, so the one treatment was an injection monthly, which basically sucked every ounce of life out of my body. It was the worst medication in my mind you could ever be on. So testosterone, you didn't feel like a man at that point. It was just horrible. So I started that immediately. Then with the treatment, my first experience after I go in and they put you in this mold was watching children come out of treatment that had far worse, possibly, symptoms than I did, and they were very grave situation. And seeing that, so right off the bat, it was just a rough start. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in a really bad place.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really tough.
You know, this is a very, very tough conversation that we're having. I understand.
Yeah, it is.
So you did this, they created the mold, you went there 60 miles from your home every day. When you went there every day, what did they do? How did that treatment feel? And did you have side effects from your treatment?
Well, a lot of people think that because it's not a proton therapy is a high-tech version of traditional radiation. So the reality is, during the treatment, it was painless, uncomfortable, but painless. The medication was no joke. It was painful and uncomfortable, all of the above. The proton therapy was just a discomfort. It was hard on your mind because you had to prepare. It was a 6-hour journey, 5 days a week for those months. And I never stopped working. Did my regular routine. I did everything possible. And I didn't really want to do it that way, but I had someone in my life that was very encouraging. Said, you're not stopping, and made it a lot tougher but easier in the end. Yeah, it was tough. Thank you.
Tougher but easier in the end. The journey is not going to be easy. It's a really, really difficult journey. But I'm happy that, and I'm sure your family is happy that you didn't give up and that you stuck through this difficult journey. So you talk about proton therapy, Scott, but you also mentioned Lupron. Lupron once a month. Share with us what the Lupron was like and what side effects you had from that Lupron, because you said it was awful. Tell us about that, because I'm sure you've experienced it. Your personal story can help someone else out there. So share with us what side effects you had from that medication.
The medication, it was as soon as it would wear off, you would go in for another injection. And the medication was so strong. I mean, it's so strong that it kills cancer cells. It keeps a cancer from growing. Okay, so that in conjunction with lack of sugar, keeping sugar away, because that's what it feeds on as well. But it just made you nauseous, made you sick. It just was nothing good about it, and it took away testosterone in your body, all your energy, everything, and creates ED. Everything bad in your life is there at that point, and then you're going through treatment, and that medication I was on for 2 years.
Wow. You said something that stuck with me. I'm not a man, but when you say ED, elaborate a little bit about ED, because I'm sure men out there are concerned about ED when they hear you have prostate cancer. So tell us, elaborate a little more on ED for us.
That one of the big things about prostate cancer is, in your course of treatment, and the doctors will say, hey, if you're 90 years old and you don't have advanced prostate cancer, this isn't going to be the thing that kills you. However, being in my 50s and having been diagnosed, they're saying, you know, we need to address this. So all the different treatments are going to have side effects. Surgery most definitely could create a severe long-term ED problem. Okay, well, these other courses of action may not get rid of the prostate cancer. Right? So going back to when I chose my course of treatment, I chose the one that was going to have the best success and the least side effects. And I think I made the right choice, you know, and long term we'll know.
That's fantastic. So ED was something that was on the top of your mind that you were concerned about. And you're saying that that was part of your decision on the treatment that you went with.
Number one was getting rid of the cancer.
Absolutely.
Everything else was secondary.
Fantastic.
But that's correct. You know, I'm saying some of those things were factors.
Fantastic. Prostate cancer can happen to anyone if you're a man. The journey through prostate cancer is not easy. Scott shared the treatment that he went through and the feelings that he went through, the good and the bad. Thanking Scott Johnson for coming and spending a third week with us. Remember our motto, live longer and live better. But we suggest doing 4 things to live longer, live better. Proper diet, regular exercise, reduce your stress, and socialization. Socialization is going to make you happy. It's going to make you feel better. Human contact. Your life is going to have meaning when you socialize. So remember to live longer and live better. Proper diet, regular exercise, reduce your stress, and socialize, and have fun with your family and friends. Finally, thank you so much for joining us. We recommend, if you want to learn more about prostate cancer, visit 𝐏𝐚𝐠𝐴.com or visit your local prostate cancer society. Learn about prostate cancer, and men, go and get tested. Go and get your annual. This show, Our Aging Puzzle, could not have been made possible without the generous contribution of our sponsor, DG Incorporated. DG Incorporated is a marketing and business development agency providing services to their clients all around the world. And their niche is helping people fill a gap in the senior industry by opening assisted living facilities and medical facilities. Thank you, DG Incorporated. We appreciate your support. Thank you to our sponsor for supporting us. Follow them on Facebook. DG Incorporated, thank you for your sponsorship. Follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn. Follow us on YouTube. Global Trade Chamber TV. See you then. And to all of you, we will see you next time. Don't forget, live longer, live better, and we're out. Voila!